The strange thing about life is that nobody tells you what age you're supposed to have everything figured out. Yet somehow, many of us wake up believing we've already missed it. 30 feels too late to change careers. 35 feels too late to start over. 40 feels too late to dream bigger. We quietly collect invisible deadlines that nobody actually gave us. Then one afternoon, you see someone your age buying their first home. Another announces an engagement. Someone else gets promoted. Someone starts a business. And without even noticing, your own life suddenly begins to feel smaller. Not because you've failed, but because comparison has a quiet way of convincing us that everyone else is arriving while we're standing still. If that's how you've been feeling lately, then stay here for a little while. Tonight, I want to remind you of something that the world doesn't say often enough. You were never behind. Take a slow breath. There is nowhere you need to rush to for the next few minutes. Let's simply sit with this together. For so many of us, comparison begins almost automatically. As children, we were measured by grades, then by universities, then careers, then salaries, then relationships, then houses, then children. Somewhere along the way, life quietly became a race that nobody remembers signing up for. It's easy to believe there is one perfect timeline. Graduate by this age. Find your career by that age. Get married. Buy a house. Travel. Have children. Retire comfortably. Tick every box before it's too late. But life has never worked that neatly. If you look closely, almost every person's journey bends in unexpected directions. Some discover their dream career after years in the wrong one. Some find love much later than they expected. Some become parents in their 40s. Some never marry and still build beautiful, meaningful lives. Others start over completely after divorce, redundancy, illness, or loss. Life doesn't move in straight lines. It unfolds more like a river, sometimes flowing quickly, sometimes slowing almost to a stop, sometimes changing direction entirely. And rivers never apologize for taking the path that belongs to them. One reason comparison feels so convincing is because our brains naturally notice what other people have. Psychologists call this social comparison. It's something humans have done for thousands of years because comparing ourselves once helped us understand where we fit within a group. But today's world is different. Instead of comparing ourselves with 20 people in our village, we're comparing ourselves with millions of carefully edited lives online. Social media rarely shows uncertainty. It doesn't show the failed interviews, the lonely weekends, the arguments, the debt, the tears after everyone has gone to bed. It shows highlights. And highlights were never meant to become measuring sticks. Still, it's difficult not to wonder if you're falling behind. Maybe you've asked yourself questions like these. Why is everyone else moving faster than me? Why haven't I figured my life out yet? Why does it seem like everyone already knows where they're going? The truth is, many people are quietly asking those exact same questions. They're simply asking them in private. There is a Japanese art called kintsugi. When pottery breaks, the cracks are repaired with gold instead of being hidden. The object doesn't become less valuable because it broke. In many ways, it becomes even more beautiful because every crack tells part of its story. Perhaps our lives are a little like that. The detours, the delays, the disappointments, the chapters we wish hadn't happened. Maybe they aren't evidence that we've fallen behind. Maybe they're simply the gold that makes our story unlike anyone else's. And maybe that was always the point. Think about a garden for a moment. Not every flower blooms in spring. Some wait until summer. Others appear in autumn. A few bloom for only a short time. Yet no flower spends the season worrying that another one blossomed first. Each simply responds when its own conditions are right. Nature never compares its timing. Only people do. Perhaps we've been expecting ourselves to bloom according to someone else's season. That can be exhausting, especially when your own journey asks for patience instead of speed. There is also something we don't often talk about. Sometimes the delay protects us. Imagine receiving something wonderful before you were emotionally ready to hold it. The dream job before you had the confidence. The relationship before you'd learned healthy boundaries. The opportunity before you'd developed the necessary resilience. Looking back, many people realized they weren't actually late. They were growing roots. Roots are invisible. Nobody congratulates a tree for growing underground. But without deep roots, even the tallest tree cannot survive a strong wind. Growth often happens long before anyone can see it, including you. If you've been feeling discouraged lately, perhaps you're measuring your visible progress while forgetting your invisible growth. Maybe you've become kinder, more patient, more emotionally aware. Maybe you've survived things that would have broken an earlier version of yourself. Those changes matter, even if they don't appear on a resume, even if nobody applauds them. One day, you may look back and realize that what felt like wasted time was quietly preparing you for the life you now have. There is no universal clock for happiness. No official deadline for becoming who you're meant to become. Life isn't an exam where everyone receives the same paper at the same time. It's more like a collection of stories. Some begin early. Some begin late. Everyone unfolds differently, and every chapter has value. Perhaps tonight, you can gently release one expectation you've been carrying, the expectation that you should already be somewhere else. Instead, ask yourself a softer question. What if I'm exactly where I need to be to become who I'm becoming? You don't have to answer it perfectly. Simply let the possibility exist. Imagine standing beside the ocean just before sunrise. The sky is still dark. You could easily believe morning isn't coming, yet the sun has never failed to rise simply because you couldn't see it yet. Some things take shape quietly, long before they become visible. Maybe your life is doing the same. Maybe your next chapter has already begun beneath the surface. Maybe hope doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives like the first light touching the horizon. Gentle, steady, almost unnoticed, until suddenly everything becomes easier to see. Before we finish tonight, I hope you remember this. Your timeline is not a mistake. Your slower season is not proof that you've failed. Your story doesn't lose value because it unfolds differently from someone else's. You are not running late. You are simply living a life that belongs uniquely to you. So breathe a little easier tonight. Let someone else's success inspire you without becoming evidence against yourself. Trust that your path has room for unexpected beauty. And if today feels uncertain, let uncertainty simply be part of the journey, not the end of it. Wherever you are right now, I'm glad you made it here. Thank you for listening, liking, and commenting. Please share Soul Planet with someone who you think may need it.